After hitting a fantastic drive and getting yourself just onto the fairway, we're left with this shot right here into the green. And how many times I see people hit the ball too low? Because you're trying to hit the ball too high. So when we've got a shot just like this, what do we need to do? Because how many times you thin the golf ball from here, or you hit that 8-iron, it comes out like a missile, it goes straight over, and you tell yourself that...
What kind of missile does it come out like?
Well, exactly. Bob will put that on screen. But you think it comes out, or you think you hit your clubs further than you do, because you've caught it low, and the next one you try and hit it a little bit higher, and it goes even further and even lower. So I'm going to use the right club here. So I've got my pitching wedge. I'm 140 yards away from the green. I'm downhill, so it's playing 130. But what do we see? So the main thing, thank you very much, we see is people trying to help the golf ball up. So if you're a beginner golfer, if you're a mid-handicapper, even if you're a single figure golfer and you're still thinking that you need to help the ball into the air, you need to watch this video, because we want to hit down into that golf ball. If I try and hit this ball on the up, then what we often see is that shot right there. An extremely thin strike, tingled the hands, it's gone high and it's not gone the distance. And that's because we are adding more loft as we come into that golf ball. So how many times we see people come for lessons and at impact they return the club like this? And there might be many of you thinking, well, that's right, I've returned the club where it was at setup. Well, there's the first issue. So at setup, what we like to see when we're using an iron is the ball's position, especially with a shorter iron, is going to be relatively in the middle of your stance. And we're going to have the handle just to the left of your zipper, and we're going to have your weight slightly left. So these things straight away are encouraging you to hit down into the golf ball, because we want to make sure that club is working down. We are hitting golf ball first, but that downward angle of attack and the loft on the club will get that ball spinning up into the air, but also getting you consistent distances. So if you're somebody who gets your 9-iron out, your 8-iron, your 7-iron, your 6-iron, and they go very close, you often say, well, it's pointless me taking half a set because those clubs, there's only 5 yards difference. That's because you are very much doing this. You are trying to add loft, you are returning more loft than you need to, so we're not getting the gapping between those clubs. So I want to make sure that I get that setup correct first. So nice and easy, if we want to get the setup, I want you to have a routine. I want you to think, right, feet are together, I'm going to make a step with the right foot, step with the left, and then we are going to take our grip. And the final thing I want you to do is have your hands just ahead of the golf ball. So I'm not saying get it into your left pocket.
My dad used to do that and it used to drive me mental.
Yeah, how many times we see people do that? And if you're somebody who catches the ball first, but then you take a divot about this long in the winter and around about that deep, then that is exactly what you will be doing. You will be setting your hands there so the club is still working down, we catch the leading edge, and then you take an absolute slug of a divot.
And if you don't rotate properly, you shank it.
We're going to hit the dreaded shot straight over there. James will send me Bobby's favourite clip. So what we want to do is make sure the hands are just ahead. That's the last thing that you do. And then from here, we are still thinking that my weight is 60% on this left-hand side. So 60% there. We're then going to build our backswing. We're going to stay centred. And from here, as we come down, again, we are going to rotate, keep that weight on the left, and you'll see as I turn my hips, we are going to come into this position here. So the club goes into the space where my hips have moved. We've actually taken a little bit of a loft off. We're compressing that golf ball and we're pressuring that towards our target. Because if we don't get that club working in like this, we're going to hit all our clubs relatively the same distance, and that's not what we want to do if you're trying to get your scores down. Because how many times have you changed clubs? You might be that person who've gone, oh well, I was always good with some MBs or some CB irons, just like the sets that I've got here, and then you go, I need some more forgiving irons. You get some more forgiving irons and we have the same issue, because yes, you've changed the design, you might have got some hollow body clubs, but it's not the club's fault. Although we like to blame that, and we know that these Tacoma clubs are extremely affordable, changing clubs all the time is certainly going to be costly. So think about that. If you're getting your clubs going the same distance, maybe pop to a TrackMan range, maybe pop to somewhere where you can
Checking the static loft probably helps, doesn't it? I think I always do that.
And check, obviously, the loft on your club, because if you are somebody who does go to the range and you do put the work in, they can slightly change over the years.
Lie angle can be terrible.
If you hit a lot of shots, but go and check your distances. But I want you to get into that routine, take your steps, handles just forward, and then from there, we take that nice divot that's launched a lot faster off the face towards my target, just landing short of the green and nicely on there with an uphill putt. And you see, I didn't have to put much effort into that. I didn't swing it any faster. If anything, I swung it smoother than the first shot that went out to the right, because I was probably trying to help the ball up. I'm trying to add speed, and we lose control of that low point. So make sure, guys, you get set up into the right position. Make sure we've got the correct loft. And from there, we want to think we've got to hit down, we've got to take a divot, but if your setup's not right, you're not going to be able to do that. Follow those steps, guys, and this will help you get good at golf and lower those scores.